Good evening and welcome, folks.
I'm a dragon, and he's a bunny.
God.
That
Maybe
looks
fuck up
very
my green
suggestive.
Yes, bouncing on that wiener, on that surfboard, that good.
Surfboard.
Surfboard.
Say surfboard.
Surfboard. Well, this week we're trying out a new format because nobody listened to the whole fucking hour. So we're cutting it down. We're going to...
You fucking attention spanless motherfuckers can't give us 60 minutes of your time. I'm sorry. It's more like 50 on most days because we have ad filler and fun shit. Like, yeah, you tell them, De Niro. You fucking tell them.
Yeah. So anyways, we're cutting it down to 30 minutes because we think more of you guys might stick around for that whole time. So those of you just tuning in, hi, 4 people. If you guys are willing to give us half an hour of your time tonight, that would be great.
First comment, not a chance. No, I'm kidding.
Actually, I should probably get that open so I can see. All right. We are doing this. We're doing this just the two of us tonight, so things might be a little bit interesting. Just the two of us.
We can make it if we try.
Who told you that lie?
I don't know.
We could try as hard as we want, still burn out like everyone else.
The world. They set my expectations too high.
Well, let's get right on into tonight's Triple Tap. All right,
damn it,
so,
like that bumper.
So we shortened the rundown. Now the Triple Tap is basically the three most important things, clearly most important things that happened this week
to us.
To everyone, it's
yes,
the most. Yes, if you didn't hear it here, folks, it's really not worth your time. That brings us to the first article from the desk of Mr. Patrick Thompson.
Hey.
Lowe's is giving away free curbside tree saplings. What do you got for us?
Absolutely. Lowe's on April 22nd, that's Thursday of this week, will be giving away 500,000 free saplings at their locations all across the U.S. All you have to do is go to their page and go to the Springfest page. Just Google Lowe's Springfest, register, and go pick up your fucking tree. You know what? Be an arborist for once in your goddamn life. How about that? That?
Give back.
How about exactly? Fucking plant a tree. Give the world some oxygen, you pieces of shit.
Yeah, right. Like you just ran off 35,000 pages for a book that you're never going to read.
Yeah.
But you know, planting a tree. Come on, just plant a tree. Plant a tree.
Exactly. And they also have another giveaway coming up, a butterfly quest kit, and the registration closes for that on the 22nd as well. So make sure you guys get those garden to go kits and everything from them. That's awesome. They are Look, I love home. I fucking hate Lowe's. I'll be completely honest. I prefer Home Depot.
There goes that advertisement.
Hey, thank you, Lowe's. For the tree. But on the other end, I absolutely love Home Depot. I think it's quicker to find things. But as far as Lowe's is concerned, I don't think they have a great selection of things. But this actually, like, I'm really happy to see this. I mean, Home Depot does the kids' workshops and things like that. But this, on the other end, I'm really excited about this just for the simple fact that I think it's great to get people interested in some kind of conservation nowadays. And this is also their way of saying, hey, you motherfuckers didn't want the trees. We said we wouldn't. We said we'd give them away. We ain't planting the sons of bitches. But this is our way of giving back for clear cutting forests for lumber. So, you know, this is our fucking 50-50 compromise here.
I used to spend at least, I would say, one night a week at the Home Depot, like getting parts or something for a job that I was on. You know, so I'm like, we need a bracket to land this thing. There's nowhere to put it, and we need you to solve this problem. And I go grab one of them orange aprons over there and say, hey, here's my problem. And you know what? Those guys know a whole hell of a lot more than you think someone would.
I'll be honest,
quite amazing.
Like both of my neighbors when I lived in Gainesville, Texas. They both worked at Home Depot, and one was like a retired physicist, like legit had 4 or 5 degrees, and just was like, fuck it, I'm going to help people with plumbing at Lowe's or Home Depot. My bad. And
I would absolutely, like, if I retired and had everything that I needed in place for the rest of my life, you best believe I'd be knocking on Home Depot's door. I'd be like, hey, can I go work in your nursery? I'll grow plants and help people figure things out.
On my door? It's Boston. Go away.
I've got more than a feeling it's Boston. Shit. Let's see. Next on our list tonight in the triple tap. Oh god, this is a great one. This is also, I think all of these. Yeah, these are all from Patrick tonight. But
god damn it,
this one's title is "Home Invasion Suspect Dies Crashing into Pickup Truck in Frisco." Now that headline makes it sound like someone crashed into a pickup truck in like the Bay. That's not what happened here. This is a different Frisco, and the story has an awful lot more to it. So why don't you let them know?
Oh man, this story has more twists and turns than an M. Night Shyamalan movie. So here's what happens. This gentleman in Frisco, Texas, was invading a home, and he was trying to steal the good things and all the nice, shiny, tiddly bits, and got caught, startled the owner, ran out. He fled the scene. We'll get back to that in a second. He fled the scene, hit a pickup truck, and died on scene. I think it's instant karma, but we'll get to the best part. And one of the good parts is actually the gentleman in a pickup truck is in stable condition and fine, so that's always good. But this piece of shit was robbing somebody and fled the scene in he owned, the robber owned a 2019 Chevrolet Corvette. Fucking shit in my Cheerios. This piece of shit robber has nicer shit than I do.
Wow. that's just nuts.
What the fuck is he going to steal? Like a 19-inch TV he can fit in the fucking front seat of the Corvette?
You can't fit anything of value in there. It's like the trunk is already full of like.
No, you're getting like silverware without the box. You're getting like fucking like one candlestick, perhaps, maybe a small dog if the breed is worth money. Like, you know what?
Did you steal Lady Gaga's Frenchies?
Great Danes are $1,300 to $2,000. Try getting one of those in a fucking Corvette.
Man, that's just gnarly.
Instant fucking karma is what he got.
And to think the guy's driving around a car that I would imagine the equity in that
MSRP on the 2019 Chevrolet Corvette base model alone was about $70,000.
$70,000. So if the guy's like, hey, I'm really strapped for cash, then he could have bought a totally working, $5,000 car off of
like a Honda
somewhere.
Prelude or something. Exactly
like that. Yes, they're excellent. And mine even is in a reddish color, kind of like a Corvette. But the fact of the matter is, the guy has,
I'm just saying, the
40 G's of equity in there, maybe.
Exactly.
Unless he was strapped. But even then, he could still sell the car, buy something else. Like, you don't need to go robbing people. It almost makes you wonder if it's not a crime of necessity anymore at that point.
No, it's not. It's totally fucking not. It's the most ridiculous story I've read in a while on here, but it happened locally here. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this guy, it wasn't the owner. It wasn't the owner of the home's fucking Corvette. It was his. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Go make another investment.
Jesus. And the last item on our triple tap this evening is titled NASA Rules, Musk says, as SpaceX wins $2.9 billion moonlander contract.
Yes, and that is kind of from my desk too. God damn it. Anyway, so NASA awarded the $2.9 billion contract to SpaceX to build a brand new moonlander, which will be landing in the next 3 years, I believe. But I think the more interesting thing, other than going back to the moon and helping the Transformers defeat the Decepticons, is actually... what was that look? But on the other end,
transform and roll out.
Autobots, roll out. It's one of my favorite things to say. So I find it really crazy that in this bid, against them, there was another bid against them, obviously. They didn't just win it because of SpaceX. Was fucking Jeff Bezos himself, Blue Origin, and the defense contractor Dynetics Inc. But I find it crazy that Amazon now has a space program. Do you think if they send people into space, it'd be like a Prime delivery thing? Like it'd be included?
One day delivery? I don't know. I mean, of all the things that I would imagine Amazon wanted to go into space for, like I imagine like Musk wants to go to Mars, right? Whereas I imagine like Amazon would want to be involved in the creation of like a space elevator. You ever heard of a space elevator?
Yeah, they are extremely cheating and crazy. I've seen some design concepts, but I just find it crazy. Okay, so I found out today that my stepdad, who works for a crane company, actually goes to Brownsville, Texas, to the SpaceX facility. And he was like, yeah, we set this up. They flew it, came back, it exploded. We set this up, it exploded. I'm like, oh my God, how much? I was like, so what? I was like, he was like, yeah, and all the parts from these exploded things are just laying around everywhere. Like nobody picks them up. I'm like, hey, could you bring me back a piece to throw up on the eBays? Like,
actual piece of rocket, no certification included.
Not saying where it came from. It's exciting.
Well, the kind of nifty thing here is SpaceX didn't just beat Amazon and Dynetics. Amazon and Dynetics were also in with Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman, and Draper. The crazy part about that is literally SpaceX outbid all of the big hitters in the defense contracting industry, literally in one move.
So do you think they outbid them by being cheaper, or do you think they outbid them by being better with the services that they plan to offer? Because those are two different ways to beat a bid.
Well, that's two different ways to beat a bid in the public sector. In the private sector, price is really strong. And what you offer is not, because what you offer, nobody cares if you offer more than what the government wants. Because you're really far away from the people who actually have standards that you could exceed. Right. You're like 8 levels of administrative people away from that. So all they care is, does this meet our needs? They don't know what exceeding expectations is. They just
this
go price.
Is exactly why a hammer in the government costs $600 for a regular $10 ball peen hammer, because you have paperwork upon paperwork upon paperwork for that hammer. And I'm not even kidding. I know people who've government contracted before. Like a regular hammer that you and I would buy would end up being $600 by the time it's done.
And the company that I currently work for, and all the companies that I've worked for in my career, have all had government contracts, and they say the same thing. You get in the door with a low price, and then you nickel and dime your way up to extreme value later by saying, these are unforeseen administrative costs that your business has cost us, and then it just scales from there. It changes. You've got so many fingers in the pie that all want different things. And there'll be change orders to counterman, change orders to counterman, change orders. And by the time you know it, you tripled your price. So
it's like, we lost 18 hammers today. Just
where did they go? Where did the hammers
go? Enjoy that frightening image of me with crossed eyes and not having my glasses on.
Well, apparently Musk, in celebration of his company's successful bid, wrote NASA rules on Twitter after the announcement. So if
Bezos drools, they didn't tell you the other half.
Oh yeah. Bezos gets older, his hair falls out, and then he decides to shave it. Me, as I got older, my hair grew back. I'm Musk.
Or you just have a hair club for men membership, possible.
You guys forgot about my other business dealing, Bosley.
The hair clinic for men. It doesn't work, as you can obviously. No, I'm kidding. Look at this luscious, thick scalp.
Scalp. You just your skin's like this thick on top of your head. Look at this thick scalp.
I could get hit in the head like so many times.
It's pretty much impenetrable, dude. There's nothing in there, but I mean, like, it's secure.
Yeah, it's definitely secure.
That monkey on crack with the symbols is safe.
Oh man, those things scare me.
Yes, they do. Yes,
Just
they
a
do.
perpetual thing that also runs out of time, but is also childish enough that we all pick them up multiple times and wind them up for amusement, even we know that the outcome's going to be the same.
It's the definition of insanity. Although
It
the
is.
imagination makes it different. You know, it clamps the symbols together, and you go, you know what? He's in a marching band now. And then the next one is, you know, he's yeah.
And the next one, he's in my closet.
He's in my mind.
Oh no, he can't get out.
Well, before we get into more of our topics tonight, we have an exciting announcement for you.
That's right. What is it? Because as usual, this place is like fucking Russia, and you tell me nothing.
We're starting a new segment called "We're Trying to Help." We like doing Dad's Corner segment so much that we're expanding it into the show.
We really like trying to help people out with frequent problems, side hustles, and even lifestyle challenges. So we are writing dedicated content, including this show segment and a companion blog on the site to help with all sorts of things.
That's right. From automotive to electrical, plumbing, diet, cat herding, live streaming, and studio setups, and even personal finance, we're producing content for those who are ready and willing to give their dreams a chance but just need a little help. In the future, we hope to bring top-tier articles and world-class industry professionals in to really nail these issues down.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. We're trying to help. Available in the podcast feed very soon. If you have any questions, anything that you'd like help with, we're not professionals, but we have set up an email address. You can send an email over to help@bmnpod.com, and we will review whatever we can, and hopefully something there we can do something about, and we will ask that anonymously we use that content for our show, and in return we will do our best to solve the problem for you in what way we can.
Absolutely. And be rest assured that I will not be the one answering diet questions.
Neither will I, but we'll be going out
Actually,
to the internet and asking some professionals and getting some insight and doing what we can.
Believe it or not, depending on the types of question these folks have about diets, I actually am very, very, very well versed in dieting and knowing how to fix myself. I just choose not to. I'd like to look like this.
I choose me.
Look, I'm in shape. It's called round. Get on board.
Not much of a board with how round it is, bud. Well, the next subject that we wanted to get to tonight, as far as like why some of you may have tuned in or why some of you didn't, because you know Doge is weird. A lot of things happened in the world of cryptocurrency when last week Coinbase filed its IPO and went public. Yep. For people who had bought into Doge at 6 cents maybe per coin, saw it top out around 35 cents.
You know, I'm really pissed. I bought it at 4 cents and I sold 1,500 fucking Doge last month for $50. Fucking murder me. Fuck you,
I
Doge,
don't need to, man. You did that to yourself.
You piece of shit. Shiba Inu.
Yeah, well, the value of not just Doge, but everything, like everything across the cryptocurrency world that was at least under, because I trade on Coinbase, and I was before they went public, so I could kind of see everything before. Everything that was in their offering just blew up, right? And the stuff that was more mainstream kind of died early. And then the stuff that people were kind of, you know, don't let your memes be dreams buying into, hung around a little bit longer. And, you know, for example, we saw GRT go from like $1.40, $1.50 to $2 and almost like $2.50, I think. And now it's back down to $1.66. That was over the course of like a couple weeks.
Real-time current price of Doge right now is 33 cents.
Okay, so it's gone back up a little bit
since the last time I checked this morning. It's up 9%.
Well, let me. Yeah, I should probably take a little peek in here and make sure my data is absolutely up to the minute as well before I go and pop off like a silly boy.
That's right, everybody. If you are unaware and maybe a little afraid about cryptocurrencies or investing in general, I suggest starting off with something like, as much as I hate it, something like Webull or Robinhood or something like that, only because you should try your hand at a regular stock before you try your hand at a cryptocurrency, because you're going to get disappointed a lot more with cryptocurrency because the fluctuation is so wavy that you could end up fucking up really easily. I got a ring light glare, Ricky. Okay,
you can kind of see where it went red on the side.
That's right.
There.
Everybody robbed Boston, stealing his phone. He's got $15,000. No, I'm kidding.
No, that screen wasn't on there. I didn't show that off. What the fuck? No, but like you can just see like it was green and then kind of back and forth. It went, and that's where we're at now.
That's what happens, guys. Cryptocurrencies have a tendency to spike due to a phenomena called pump and dump, and it will spike up and plateau and then have a sudden sharp drop. But the good thing is, like, I checked my my Doge yesterday. That's right, I have Doge again. Fuck y'all. Anyway, I checked it and it dropped down to 23 cents, but overnight it regained up to 26. And in the 7 hours I've been awake, well, I've been awake longer than 7 hours, but in the hours that I've been awake since I've checked it, it's rebounded all the way to 33 cents. So it is a dance. My personal favorite way to play it is you put your initial investment in, whether it be $100 or $200, something like that. You double it. And then what you do is you pull out your initial investment, reinvest it in something else. Then you're playing with literal house money. And, it's like being at a casino. The goal is to get over what you came in with so you can play with house money and leave even. You never want, look, yes, it's occasional you will leave ahead at a casino. But the odds are very low because those games and things are meant to suck you dry, like most of my ex-wife's life was.
Oh, Jesus, that got dark.
Yeah, it did.
The thing that's different about crypto and like a more mainstream, stock investing is like the things that you can use as bellwethers and indicators. When you look at it in the stock markets, there's things like every business puts out quarterly earnings. A lot of businesses do, earnings reports. There's lots of news about what the businesses are up to. If you were invested in something like MSI or Corsair or something like that, people who were in Corsair did really well this last year. The Corsair was pretty sweet.
One good thing I have to say about traditional investing, when it comes to buying stock in companies that offer stock, is you should always invest in a company that you love. If you use something on a regular, like if you buy Razer gaming equipment or peripherals or whatever, or if you buy, like Sean just said, MSI laptops and computers, invest in things that you love.
Warren Buffett said you should invest in the things that you know, right? Yeah. So I tend to be inclined to do that, and that's why I don't make a lot of bets. I'm not super invested in things really beyond a lot of set it and forget it stuff. But the big trick for me is sticking to what you know. And the problem with cryptocurrency is it's really hard to know it. It's really hard to know what it's up to, how it behaves, what it's for. And so like you get things like Bitcoin, which is kind of just, it was mined, right? It's basically a bellwether for people's intention to decentralize finance, right? Yep. And then you got stuff like Doge, which means nothing, does nothing, serves nothing. But
and if the guy who invented Bitcoin is ever discovered, it will drop super quick. I hope you know that. It's because if his identity ever becomes known, it will destabilize it because it's no longer an anonymous system. It is then a person with a face.
Actually, it's different than that, though. This is the part that I wanted to get to. That's kind of crazy. Is blockchain technology is in some ways, some people the way they use it, like, is to put data and processing beyond human intervention. Right. That's the nice part about it, is the idea that, like, let's say you have a blockchain that is supposed to look at other blockchains and sort through their information and make a database of it that's searchable. Right. The way that it does that is not something that humans can intervene with. So biasing that data, changing that data, manipulating that data inside of their blockchain is going to be really hard to do. And people have called that trusted processing. The idea that it can't be messed with by humans, right? And that's just kind of a nature that if you decentralize it from everybody, which blockchains are, right? They're chain reactions, right? One bit of it being processed creates the next part. It's procedurally generated, and it's difficult to understand. And we're not the people to necessarily get that far in depth with how blockchain tech works. But the main idea being, if you can put it outside the hands of people who could manipulate it, you can create a computing space that is trusted and decentralized. Right. And if we succeed in doing that, who needs the Fed anymore?
Yeah, exactly. That's why it frightens the U.S. government so much, because this currency, the exchange rate is 1-to-1, no matter what country you go to.
That ties into the concept of modern monetary theory, that we build this bubble around our currency that allows us to manipulate its value and to do things like print more of it to create proper inflation, which lowers unemployment through the exchange of money, right? And so we basically play this game where life just becomes only the jobs that are created by the manipulation of money are available, and the amount of unemployment there is controlled by the people who sit at the levers of power. And so now you say, am I unemployed 100% because of my own decisions? No. Yeah. No, there's market supply and demand, but there's people who sit in a building somewhere that are not government officials. They're private people that have won the right to do this to you, who sit there and manipulate levers to create positive outcomes for the members of their banking system. So when you have shit like that and you tie that in, and then you present this alternative idea that you don't need to earn and be successful within that system anymore. You can decentralize it and say, you know what, feds, I don't need your game. I don't want to use your currency anymore. That's when the currency falls apart.
Exactly. Well, that has been a great discussion about crypto and Doge, and a little baseline and a little sample, a tidbit, if you will, to the people out there. We both play around with this.
This is not financial advice, by the way.
Exactly. BMN Pod, its affiliates, associates, co-hosts, and otherwise are not financial advisors. You should take everything we say with a grain of salt. Disclaimer done. So let's move on to one of our favorite parts of the show. Who the fuck made this list? My grunty button push.
Sorry, man. It's not as fast or responsive. I'm not as good. Well, tonight's list comes from a very special place in our hearts and or butts. It's titled 5 Easy Home Repairs Nobody Does Right. Number 5 will cost you thousands. I will take number 1. I think that's how we had this set up. Anyways, number 1.
We can do it either way. I mean, you take number 1. I would skip number 4. No, I'm an idiot. You go. You just go. You do you, boo-boo.
Okay, boo-boo.
Hey, boo-boo.
Item number 1 on the list. Repair small nail and screw holes with ordinary white toothpaste. The landlord will never know you put 54 nails into their chartreuse backsplash. Fucking chartreuse.
Unless you use Mentadent, then it'll be blue dots all over the wall.
Blue and white. It's like little blue and white yin-yangs.
Ooh, what about the Aquafresh, though? It's got the Italian vibe going on.
Yeah, it's like, hey, man, why'd you shove little bits of Sbarro cups in here? What's going on?
Number 2. Repair your clogged and slow sink drains by simply removing the P-trap underneath. It usually has 2 screw spots. And removing the debris. Be sure to have a bucket handy to catch that drainage.
Oh, I just go.
Oh, God, that's so gross. Remember,
Yes,
don't pour fat down your drains, folks.
Yes, if you're frying stuff in a pan and you've got a bunch of meat drippings, like cool the pan, scrape it out, throw it away the old-fashioned way, because if you put that stuff, those saturated fats that solidify when they cool down, you put those down your sink, they'll clog your shit.
I will say this, though. You can put them down the sink if, and only if, your water reaches about 115 to 120 degrees when it's lightning hot, and you chase it with that. But if you have PVC piping, it will eventually ruin it if you put like fucking lava hot oil down there.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. If you're frying bacon, you got all that bacon grease, and you're just like, you know what, I'm smart. I'm pouring that down the sink.
If you're not making tallow, you don't know what's right.
Yeah, you need to be saving that bacon grease, folks. You'd be surprised what you can use that for. Even something as simple as, oh, I'm going to like. You'd be like, oh, I need butter. No, you don't need butter to fry things anymore. You can just grab a scoop of that totally fine to leave on your counter covered bacon grease, throw it back in your pan, and fry whatever you're frying, and add a whole ton of flavor.
You can get the gibbly bits out before doing that by simply using a sifter and running it through there, or a cheesecloth or something like that to be able to get those jiggly bits out, those crispy bits.
Ooh, you know, it'd be great. What if you could use? I don't know if it would work.
Oh my God! I just thought about infusing. Hey, write this down. This is a moneymaker.
Okay, let me. I got my pen right here. What is it?
Herb infused bacon greases.
All right, herb infused bacon grease.
I think that might. I'm curious.
Well, it's fat, right? And so if you do it while it's warm and still liquefied, any fat-soluble flavorant compounds, like, for example, pepper, that'll get into it real good. So I imagine you can probably do that.
Sea salt pre-seasoned bacon with sea salt and garlic mash. I think we're on to something here, guys. Everybody leave the chat right now. No. You do anyway, you fuckers.
You always leave.
Oh God, we have dependency issues.
Oh no, we're so dependent upon the people who tune in. All right, number 3. Fix scuffs and scratches on hardwood furniture by rubbing a walnut shell gently onto it.
Exactly, and make sure that walnut shell is about the same shade, and it will help alleviate the scratches and scuffs that you see. Small ones, little nicks and things like that, they'll blend in. So have fun rubbing your nuts on things.
There it is.
Easily remove pet hair from carpets and vinyl flooring at the source. Unless you do something about the pets, the hair will just keep coming back. Rent a wood chipper for about $90 and dispose of the animals. Point the chipper at the side of the house for an instant paint job while in the process. This coat only gets better with time, as the vibrant arterial red will fade to a rustic brown within weeks. Become your own Jackson Pollock today, now with 35% more giblets.
Yep, and those little chunks left over on the side of the house will eventually make great fertilizer, bud. Worked great for me.
Oh, yeah. No pets for you. All the hamsters are gone.
Still got a chihuahua, but I think I'm going to paint the other side of the house next week.
Oh, God damn.
And number 5. Mend your broken marriage with Murphy's Oil Soap and a rubber band, and possibly try to fix it with one of those weird vibrating doohickey things you heard about from your wife's TikToks.
Oh, you mean those dick talks? I mean, yeah,
yes. TikToks.
Oh my God. Well, we appreciate everybody tuning into this brand new show format with us tonight. And I think it was a knock out of the park success. It was fun. It was quippy. And, you know, what are your thoughts on it, Boston?
I mean, I think it's pretty good. I think we got some good viewership. It seems like most people have sent themselves off to do other things now, and I hope that they do so with a bit of cheer in their hearts, and otherwise be silly, smiling, and having fun. To those of you who are with us at this point, Patrick, do you have anything to say to them?
Yeah, I'm going to read Lauren Christine Durant's comment. Dicks. But I do have a couple more things.
Dicks. How many dicks, Patrick?
All the dicks.
Billions and billions and billions and billions and billions and billions
of dicks.
I hate you so much, but that was brilliant. So I do got a couple things to say. We didn't hear from our normal sponsors this evening, but I'm going to plug a couple of them. Be sure to check out pleaserecordthis.com. I will tell your grandmother off as Trump for $20. That's this week's special. And also,
dicks.
Check out 889kwzl.online, our wonderful partnership. That's how Sean found me. I was disheveled and in a cardboard box. It was a Kenmore box, so it's really old. If you guys got that joke, then I love you. So
at least it's big enough, right?
And also, remember to check out bmnpod.com/shop. We have awesome stuff on there. We have cups, stickers, all kinds of shirts. The Melania, which is an amazing cross champion pouch baggie. Cross.
It's a pack for your fannies.
They call them crossbody bags, though. The style that the model is wearing it in the picture is called a crossbody bag.
Well,
so we call fanny packs because we're old as dirt. So, but
it's a crossbody bag.
No, it's a kangaroo pouch for the hangover from a snatch. That's what they are, right?
A pack for fannies. And folks, if you take a moment, you check out our website, you'll see eventually where you're starting. We have a new page up there for the new series show. We're trying to help. It's bmnpod.com/WTH. Go ahead and check that out too. We're going to have some stuff up there soon, and hopefully some episodes of shows to show you things in the meanwhile. So until then, what you got, Patrick?
Hey, everybody. I just want to say thank you so much for being here this evening. And as always, my tagline, keep an open heart and an open mind.
And until then, stay fucked, America.
Yay! We did it.
We did it. We can probably go shorter next time.
And did the show. We're still alive, we did it.